ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ. I know I've not been posting a lot of videos on YouTube lately, and I appreciate your guys' support. We're still growing, even though we don't have any posts on YouTube or anything. But yeah, here I am. I'm here for another video for you guys. I just want to let you guys know I've been busy in work, got a new job. My TikTok is north.bc.sing. A lot of my videos are there, but I try to talk about more in-depth things on YouTube here. So let's start it. Yeah, how do I go about this? So I've seen a big trend that's going on is with a lot of kids that come from India, like international students. What I noticed is a lot of them are coming here and cutting their their val. And for me, hearing stories of the older Punjabis that came here prior to the start of the 21st century, so before 2000, what they had to deal with, the struggles they had to cut their hair to fit in. They wouldn't be able to survive. They spent all their money here. I know of a situation, one of the Sikhs that came over from Kiddamat, Gurpreet Singh, he was telling me his teacher was one of the first teachers at Caledonia. And his Daya, his uncle, didn't want to come to Terrace to work at that school because he told them, I know what you guys do. You guys make them cut their hairs. You guys make us cut our hairs. That's what they did for the natives too, because they knew, maybe they didn't know themselves, but they know that power came from there, that wisdom, that energy, those vibes come from our gaze. Same with the indigenous people, and same within our culture. The hair is an extension of us. It's proven through scientists that hairs have multiple benefits. Having it long or even having it uncut is even better. So yes, the Gurpreet Singh's uncle, when he came here, they said, no, it's okay, we'll give you the job, we won't make you do it. He spends all his money, he comes here, and guess what? They ask him to cut his case. And a lot of the uncles and stuff, they worked in the mills. A lot of them cut their hair, but they ended up keeping it back later around the 90s and stuff, when it started to become a lot more accepting and stuff. But even then, some uncles, they still kept the case, even though they would be discriminated against. It was not only Sardars, but it was also Monne, right? But Sardars would get it more because they would stand out. People didn't have the awareness of why we wear the stars, why we have the long beards in case. But now it's not that bad, but the reasons are very different. I've covered this in a lot of videos. But to be honest, you can say it's girls, you can say it's partying, it's drinking, it's to look good. All those reasons are valid. Those reasons are very valid for even Canadian Sikhs that are born here. And a lot of people will say, "Haan, jehde nyane chote ho ke they cut their case." The thing is, if the kid hasn't been told about what is case, I know a lot of Canadian-born Sikhs that are youngsters that are in Terrace, and I was holding classes, but I guess my teaching is too blunt and straightforward. I asked the kids, I was like, why you guys have case? Do you guys know why you guys have case? And they said, no, we don't know. So the thing is, if the kid grows up and he cuts his case, whose fault is it really? It's the parents, because the parents are so busy with money, sara kuch. But Sikhi wale dasna nahi. That's another thing, is education. But what I've noticed is a big trend is a lot of Canadian-born Sikhs who ended up cutting their case at a younger age, or who were Monne their whole life, like myself, they are starting to keep their case. Canadian Sikhs who are older than 20, and it's becoming very common now. A lot of people say, well, I don't know a Munna who's become a Singh or kept his case. The reason why you don't know is because you're not on that pathway. Waheguru won't bring those people in front of you. You won't know about them if you're not trying to go on that pathway. As soon as I start to get deep into my Sikhi, I was asking Waheguru, please keep my case, this and that. I started following Sikh channels. I got to find a lot online, on Instagram, YouTube, people telling out their stories. You just have to be out there. And when you start growing out your case, or you start going on this journey, those people will come automatically to you. But the real reason why kids from India are starting to cut their case when they come here, and the Canadian borns are growing it. The main reason for this is the ones in India have lived that Western type lifestyle. I was about to say they haven't lived that Western lifestyle. They've lived that lifestyle in India. A lot of them have some general knowledge about what Sikhi is, but they've never lived this Western lifestyle. Not everything is bad in Western culture, but you have to have a fine balance between your Sikhi and the Western culture. There's a lot of stuff that's good in Canadian culture, such as sorry, saying thank you, but to be honest, Sikhi is everything. Sikhi is every respecting aspect. That's why they say Sikhi is very aligned with Canadian culture, Canadian values. Right? And a lot of these guys that tend to cut their case, they were like, okay, we're going to fit in this and that, but they still have those backward ways, which is not okay for Canada. Whereas they don't understand if they really want to be part of Canadian society and be respected, is just to follow Sikhi. It might be tough at first, but it'll benefit you. Even me, I'm a Sikh. I have case, I have a dastar, I look different than everyone. I have panch kakar, but I just integrate with everyone. I don't assimilate. Assimilation is getting rid of your roots, your culture, trying to fit in on purpose. Whereas integration is holding on to your culture, holding on to your roots, but talking amongst everyone still. People ask me, so why you wear the kada or what the turban means, and someone asked me about my kirpan. I just explained it. I stand proud. I don't be like, oh no, what's going on? Educate yourself. The reason for the Canadian born Sikhs, why they are starting to keep their case, we've lived that Western lifestyle. We drank, we've smoked, we've partied, we've been with multiple girls. I'm not saying I've done all this, but I'm just speaking generally for this is like overall stuff that you'll see Canadian born Sikhs do when they're younger, because a lot of them are raised as Munne. Let's be honest. A lot of people say, "Jiri Canadian born Sikh hai, jiri Canadian born Punjabi hai, right? Tarm nu follow nahi karde, right? They don't follow. What's really the fault of the child if their parents not going to grow them up into it, want them to fit in, not teach them about Sikhi? And that's what the youngsters, unfortunately, that have their case, the Canadian born Sikhs, when they grow up, they cut it. And that's what's really happening in India. Prachar, we need prachar a lot right now. And right now, Punjab is filled with dere. Sikhi is being endangered. Casteism is huge. A lot of Majbi Sikhs have turned Christians. We'll only see when the 2021 census comes out for India. Otherwise, we won't know. But Sikhi prachar is increasing in Canada. Canada has the highest percentage of Sikhs now, more than India now. 2.1% of the population of Canada is Sikh, and it was 1.4% in 2011 in Canada. So we went from 1.4% to 2.1%. Whereas in India, between 2001 to 2011, Sikh population fell from 1.9% to 1.7%. And it's probably fell even further because of all the immigration that is happening. Right? The main fault is our fault. Sada galti. That's what we Punjabis have to see. I know a lot of my viewers are from India. It may make some impact, but to be honest, I am not there. I'm not in Punjab, but we need to do something. We have to have the prachar. And these kids that are doing it, they probably do it because their parents aren't here or whatever. But still in the West, if they're doing it, we're losing a lot. I'll end it off saying this. We have a lot more people that want to follow the crowd, being sheep, birds, and there's a lot less shares. That means our comm is becoming less brave. And again, a lot of people may say, it's in your case, there is no sign of bravery or this and that. But to think about it, if you can fit in, you can stand amongst the rest, you're okay to stand out. Think how strong you are. It builds inner strength. I can say myself, keeping my case, I grew with my case. I grew inwardly longer my case grew, the more I grew inwardly. That's what I noticed when I was a Munna, when I was just starting to grow my case. I don't know what it was, but I noticed when it was starting to get longer, I felt the power in the shower when I'd have my hair open, and I didn't have it in a juda or anything, right? And every time I was trying to keep it when I was in one, I felt power. That's what you should try doing. Grow out your gaze for a month. Just grow it. You will feel a little bit of a difference. You grow it for 2, you'll feel a difference. 3, feel a little bit of a difference. You will feel it once you understand it. You meditate, your hair stands up, it's alive, right? But I'll just end it off there. I don't want to have it too long. I'll end off there. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.